Hi, I'm Rotary Swing instructor Chris Tyler. Have you found yourself struggling with that really nasty reverse pivot and never really had any sort of clear indication on how to get rid of it? And what do I mean when I say reverse pivot? Well, if you've seen your golf swing when you get loaded up to the top where your spine is leaning more towards the target and a lot of your weight is more into your lead side, that's what we would consider a reverse pivot. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys a very simple drill that's going to help you overcome this and help you load your golf swing up the proper way. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, everyone, if you're joining us on our YouTube channel, and before I get started with today's drill that's going to help you overcome that reverse pivot, I want to let you guys know I'm going to go ahead and include a special preview of a bonus clip here at the end of this video. It's called 5 minutes to a perfect backswing. And if you want to see that video in its entirety, you can go ahead and click the link in the description below. That's going to take you over to our website where you'll be able to sign up for a free membership, watch that video for free in its entirety, and you'll also have 3 hours plus of free instruction available to you. Remember, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button below. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post those up and I'll help you out as best I can. Okay, so if you've been battling with that reverse pivot, I'm going to show you guys a really great way to be able to overcome that very quickly. Now, what we want to talk about, and I showed you guys what a reverse pivot is at the start of this video. If you watch kind of the cause and effect relationship, I'm going to turn down the line for you guys. If you watch, my weight's falling more over to my lead side, and now from a face-on perspective, you see my spine leaning more towards the target. Well, there's a couple of quick checkpoints I want to make sure that you have down before you start your golf swing. The first one being is we want to make sure that we have what we call axis tilt. Okay, axis tilt is just where our spine is just inside of our lead knee here. Okay, so when you take your setup position, you're going to make sure that your spine is just inside your lead knee. The best way to get axis tilt is just start from an evenly weight distribution as far as where your feet are at address. Okay, so you want to have even weight distribution. Okay, first thing we want to do is just bump our hip towards the target just slightly. So now you can see my spine just inside my lead knee, because when we start our golf swing, our objective is to be able to shift our weight and load up our trail side here. And if you don't have axis tilt, okay, so if you start with your spine really vertical and you start to shift your pelvis, you're going to notice that your spine already starts to lean in that direction. So it's really critical for you to make sure that you have axis tilt at the address position. So once you get axis tilt, the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you transfer your weight. You're going to shift your weight. So you're going to move your hips about an inch or so over to the right. You should feel about 60 to 70% of your weight in your right heel, right ankle. Once you shift your weight, what you're going to try and do here, I want you to imagine that there's a shelf that rests right on top of your right hip. All right, your hips can rotate, but I don't want your hip to go up above this shelf. Again, so a reverse pivot problem would be, see how my hip is up above that shelf area? So what we're going to focus on is we're going to keep our right hip below that shelf and we're going to rotate our body. So now you can see here at the top, I've got load and I've been able to maintain my axis tilt at the top of the swing. So do several reps of this without a golf club. So you're going to start out, good axis tilt, cross your arms over your shoulders, shift your weight, and imagine that there is a shelf that your hip is underneath. And just rotate your body. Allow the hip to feel like it's moving back just a little bit to almost feel like your right butt is sitting over your right ankle. Do about 50 reps of that. You'll start to feel some tightness in your right glute. That's great for stability. Once you get the hang of this, go ahead and put the golf club back in your hands and start out actually with a light end. That's the best way to start out. That way you're focusing on your body movements and you're not starting to create a lot of momentum and inertia in the golf club. Okay, so flip the club over. Same kind of thing. You want to make sure you shift, keep your right hip underneath that shelf, and rotate. Do this about 50 more reps, then flip it over and go to the heavy end. Once you get 50 more reps of that, then you can go ahead and start hitting golf shots, and you'll be well on your way to actually having a loaded up, powerful backswing.